Well, the South Orange County Community College District met on June 17th, and joining us now is Trustee Prendergast to tell us all of what happened over there on June 17th. Those meetings are in the evening, aren't they?
Correct.
Yeah, they last through midnight?
No. We
Sometimes they do, right?
Long anymore.
Yeah.
I guess in the past they were sometimes went pretty long, but
Yeah.
we typically will get out of there between 8:30 and 9.
And you have the meetings there at the Ronald Reagan facility over there at Saubach College?
Correct.
Yeah, what a beautiful little facility that is,
very
man.
nice.
It's very nice. You've been on the board since 2010. What kind of challenges and what kind of things have you seen that maybe you weren't aware of?
Well, I couldn't have come in at a worse time as far as budget from the state. The programs being cut and money being tight as it is. I mean, we're fortunate that we're a basic aid district, but it's still, that just means we get less funding for categoricals from the state, so we have to make it up from somewhere.
Has the increase in tuition at the Cal State and university levels brought more students back to the junior college level?
I'd say it's pretty much a wash in the sense that they also raised the tuition rates at the community college level. So for everyone that couldn't afford the four-year colleges wanting to go down to the 2 years, they still had to consider their budgets with the increase.
Right.
Because it went from $26 to $46 in 2 years. Things are getting better. The economy is slowly coming back, and Proposition 30 is, of course, what they're talking about right now in Sacramento is the governor's looking to sign the budget, and it's very positive. There's a lot more money than they even anticipated from the tax increases, but we'll see how it affects us.
I think still in this area we're very fortunate to have the South Orange County Community College District, because it's still the best value for an education that I think we can find. You said $26 to $46, which doesn't seem like a lot, but that's per unit, right? And if you're taking 20-something units, it can be pretty expensive.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, you're right. Absolutely right. It's for bang for your buck.
Yeah.
Hands down is the best value out there for anyone who's looking for continuing education or to look at, okay, I'm going to go to a community college for my general ed requirements before I transfer to a 4-year, and it makes it affordable.
That's right. Well, you want to talk especially today about a special bill that's called SB 173. Tell us a little bit about that.
It's by State Senator Liu, who's he had some good ideas, and the intent originally was okay. I think the problem that most people don't understand is that it's a misconception that adult education only means students that are trying to, that took a break and are coming back, and maybe they're 30, 40 years old and trying to go for another career. Somehow it was missed, or intentionally or not, we're not really sure, that it's lumping in the emeritus program with it. And that's of course a concern to us, because we're very fond of our emeritus program, and we're able to offer it at no cost, so that that's going to become much more difficult if this passes. So we're vehemently opposed to it. We've joined with other districts as well as individually, writing letters signed by all of the trustees saying that we oppose.
Yeah.
We oppose certain aspects of it that lump in the emeritus program. It is a departure from the governor's plan, which is to really take a closer look at adult education, see what high schools can offer versus what community colleges should be taking on the burden of. But obviously we're not going to put emeritus program with the high school districts and have them take that on when we've been so successful with it and are able to afford it.
Yeah, well, especially in this community, because the emeritus program has multiple classes throughout our community. So this would definitely affect not only your students, but obviously your students that are residents in our community as well.
Correct, and we're vehemently opposing it and fighting it. And every indication is the governor's going to veto it if it came to his desk anyway. But we're fighting for you.
You're fighting for it, that's right. Well, something else we want to talk about is a community awareness program that Senator Mimi Walters is going to be putting on. And this is a session on prescription drugs, and that does seem to be a kind of an increasing problem in our society nowadays.
Correct. She had 2 seminar sessions last month, and I attended one of them, and it was very eye-opening for me. I went as an educator, personally, teaching high school students. We have issues with illegal drugs, and so this was kind of an eye-opening for me really the interesting part of the presentation was that prescription drug abuse is on the rise, and it doesn't discriminate on age, gender, race. It hits 11-year-olds to 95-year-olds, and it's really an interesting thing to look at because we don't think about it as much because it's not marijuana or heroin or anything like that. But many of these prescription drugs are as dangerous, if not more dangerous, and many times contain a lot of the same elements and chemicals. Yeah. And so it was just an awareness of proper disposal so that somebody else can't get their hands on it or it doesn't go into the water supply and things of that. So they had suggestions of you could you boil it in 110-degree water and put some kitty litter in a bag, and then you can throw it in the trash, and that disintegrates the chemicals in the medicine. Or you can go to your pharmacist and ask for an envelope that you can mail in, and they dispose of it. So there are options for proper disposal. The other is just to kind of have an awareness and keep your eye out for friends who have been prescribed pain medication or sleep aids or things of that nature, that if you start seeing changes in their behavior and they're refilling their prescription more often than they should, just kind of have that awareness for each other.
Yeah, and especially too for the younger adults whose parents might be suffering from an ailment and taking this medication, and hey, we'll just take a couple pills here and there from the bottle, and next you know they're addicted to that particular medication.
Right. They had a lot of conversations about lock boxes, locking them up and making them. And what's interesting about that is it wasn't just locking it up to keep somebody else from getting it, but if you lock up your medicine, you yourself have to go through more effort to go take it.
That's true.
And therefore less likely to abuse it.
That's true. Well, let's talk about something on a happier note. The Saddleback College Foundation is honoring one of your own over there, and this is a terrific story.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, anytime you have somebody who's devoted so much of their life to education, you can still celebrate their life and everything they've done for their community as well as the colleges. So yes, Mildred Landecker, 30 years as an emeritus professor, twice recognized as part-time faculty of the year, celebrating her 100th birthday, and so we're going to throw a little celebratory tea in her honor.
Yeah, very interesting that she decided to retire at 94.
Yeah,
that's quite amazing.
Kind of makes some of us feel a little inadequate.
It does. I mean, she's a real go-getter, and I feel, okay, I can put in the time. Yeah, good for her. That's incredible. Now, you have finally, we have an upcoming performance that's going to be presented over there at Saddleback College as well.
Correct. Right. They're going to be putting on Fiddler on the Roof. As you can see here, the dates and the times. It's an age-old story. Many people know, and just the idea that our programs put on, our colleges put on these great programs, and they're so local and relatively cheap. Most of the members here can go for the $22, or I'm sorry, the $18 senior rate. Right.
That's pretty good. That's all brought to you by the Saddleback Civic Light Opera. And if you haven't been over to the McKinney Theater, I know they redid it. It's been a couple years now, though, but it's a beautiful little theater, and no seat is bad. It's a great little theater that every seat is perfect, and you can see a wonderful show, and the talent over there is incredible as well.
Correct. They they redid the seats and the acoustics, and it's a really good place to see a show.
Very good. Well, we thank you for joining us on the program. Looks like your next meeting is going to be on July 22nd. What time do you meet over there?
We meet at typically 6 o'clock is the open session. We officially open at 5, then we go into closed session and then talk about personnel issues and things that have to be done in closed session.
But in the open session, residents of our community can come and attend these meetings and be a part of the process?
Absolutely. Great. Anybody can come and enjoy the show.
Sounds good. Well, thanks so much for joining us on the program today.
Thank you.
That's TJ Prendergast. He's the South Orange County Community College District Trustee. And be sure and check out their website as well. It's very well done and gets you a lot of information. We'll be back more with This Day in Laguna Woods Village right after this.